Imagine a junkyard full of rusty clunkers. Most folks see junk, but not Chad Hiltz. They call him Bad Chad, the guy with a mullet and a welder who turns beat-up wrecks into badass rides. Think a crazy '62 Chrysler called the Green Goblin or a Bugatti built from scraps. No big money, no fancy gear, just pure grit and wild ideas. From a tiny Nova Scotia garage to TV screens worldwide, this is Bad Chad's transformation. Junkyard to genius. How one dude turned rust into a total game changer. If you're a fan of car shows, you've probably come across Bad Chad Hiltz, the unconventional and creative mastermind behind the hit series Bad Chad Customs. Known for his ability to transform scrap metal and discarded car parts into stunning, one-of-a-kind custom vehicles, Chad has captivated audiences with his resourcefulness, craftsmanship, and unique artistic vision. This is Bad Chad Speaks. Secrets of a junkyard genius revealed. Get ready for the raw, unfiltered truth behind the magic. Stay tuned to see how Bad Chad Hiltz turns junkyard rust into genius rides with nothing but grit. And a welder, Chad Hiltz was born in Nova Scotia, Canada, and developed an early love of cars. In contrast to many custom car builders who inherit family businesses or begin their careers in large garages, he had a strong desire to transform common cars into remarkable works of art. But neither formal training nor a wealthy investor supported his endeavors. Chad was drawn to vintage cars, hot rods, and the concept of reusing materials from a young age. He immediately gained notoriety for his unorthodox approach to car building, creating stunning custom vehicles out of repurposed metal, household objects, and scrapyard finds. His guiding principle has always been innovation, demonstrating that creativity should never be constrained by a tight budget. In Canning, Nova Scotia, Chad Hiltz opened his custom car shop, Green Goblin Customs. Green Goblin Customs relies on Chad's creativity and practical experience to run on a shoestring budget, in contrast to upscale stores with boundless resources. The shop immediately became known for creating some of the most creative and eye-catching builds in the business. What distinguishes Chad from conventional automakers is his ability to find potential in trash. He reinvents automobiles rather than merely restoring them. Chad's creations are truly unique. Whether it's converting a worn-out sedan into an award-winning show car or a sleek, futuristic machine out of an old 1939 Buick. The Discovery Channel eventually took notice of Chad's abilities, and in 2019, Bad Chad Customs was born. Viewers got a behind-the-scenes glimpse of his unconventional building methods, the team dynamic, and the particular difficulties of operating a small-town custom car shop. In contrast to many high-end car shows that emphasize luxury and pricey builds, Bad Chad Customs is all about innovation on a shoestring. Chad and his team, which includes his fiancée Jolene McIntyre, bring unadulterated creativity to every project, demonstrating that all it takes to create amazing cars is vision, talent, and tenacity, rather than millions of dollars. The show, which demonstrated the beauty of hands-on craftsmanship and the art of working with limited resources, struck a chord with both DIY builders and auto enthusiasts. Chad's no-nonsense demeanor, his love of vintage hot rods, and his unwavering conviction that anything is achievable with the correct mindset drew in viewers. Bad Chad's creations are rolling works of art rather than merely cars. Chopped roofs, long body designs, unique grills, and highly detailed handiwork are all hallmarks of his style. To create distinctive design elements, he frequently uses non-automotive materials such as scrap metal from junkyards, sheet metal from discarded appliances, and even old refrigerators. It's challenging to operate a custom car shop in a small town, and Chad has encountered many challenges. His everyday challenges include scarce resources, short turnaround times, and the ongoing need to locate reasonably priced materials. These difficulties, however, have only strengthened his resolve to demonstrate that great craftsmanship is more about the heart and creativity put into one's work than it is about the amount of money spent. Chad has also been open about the challenges of juggling his personal and professional lives, particularly as his notoriety has increased. While Chad concentrates on his creative vision, Jolene McIntyre, his fiancée, is instrumental in overseeing the business side of things and keeping the shop operating efficiently. Chad Hiltz doesn't appear to be slowing down as Bad Chad Customs continues to grow in popularity. He continues to push the boundaries with creative and surprising builds, staying true to his do-it-yourself roots. He has had an indisputable impact on the custom car industry, encouraging a new generation of builders to be innovative and resourceful. Through social media, live events, and partnerships with other car enthusiasts, Chad has broadened his brand beyond television. His work, which demonstrates that repurposing materials can produce beautiful results without breaking the bank, has spurred discussions about sustainability in the car sector. The force that went into rebuilding some of the amazing vehicles that came out of his workshop was another essential member of the team. The lead builder and manager of Hiltz Auto Co. was his right-hand man, Aaron Rand. His steady hands created some of the most astounding designs and installations, leaving many viewers in awe of his skill. His efforts gave each vehicle the impetus it needed to be recognized as a genuine one-of-a-kind masterpiece. If you were an avid viewer of Bad Chad Customs, you would be aware that Chad's creative vision went well beyond the cars. Every element of his life demonstrated his love for craftsmanship, including his passion for repurposing waste materials to create beautiful new creations. He was accompanied by Jolene McIntyre, his fiancée, who was vital to the success of the business. In addition to being a helpful partner, she managed marketing, social media, logistics, and other business operations that kept the store operating efficiently. As the mastermind behind each build, Chad was renowned for being a visionary fabricator. Fans were captivated by his ability to turn commonplace items into stunning custom cars. He demonstrated that you don't need a large budget to produce something amazing by frequently using salvaged parts, despite having limited resources. Creativity and inventiveness were key components of Chad's team. Together, they produced some of the most distinctive builds in the history of custom cars. In contrast to conventional stores, Hiltz Auto Co. reimagined cars rather than merely restoring them. His method of building cars blended engineering, creativity, and an eye for the unusual, making every project a novel and creative challenge. Chad's shop produced countless amazing builds, each of which told a tale of transformation. One of his most famous designs was a sleek, nearly entirely custom-built 1930s Ford that looked futuristic and had been chopped down. His builds were unquestionably authentic and unique due to his ability to fabricate parts from scrap metal. Knowing that whatever he produced would challenge the conventions of custom car building, fans eagerly awaited his next move. Due to the invisible team members who made sure every project was finished quickly, Chad's shop ran like a well-oiled machine. By keeping an eye on bookkeeping and financial records, his financial manager was essential in keeping the team balanced and producing high-caliber work within the allocated budget. Conflicts occasionally emerged over creative trade-offs and budgetary priorities, but the outcome consistently demonstrated that Chad's distinct vision was worthwhile. In 2016, a producer discovered his YouTube videos, which were grainy recordings of Chad welding and venting about his builds, narrated by his fiancée, Jolene McIntyre. This was his big break. Bad Chad Customs, which debuted on Discovery in 2019, was the result of that. The show won over gearheads all over the world by showcasing Chad's outrageous creations and outrageous personality. However, what is the true tale of his ascent, and why did the show end? From Canada to Japan, the show aired in more than 100 countries due to its popularity. By the second season, Chad had taken over as executive producer, bringing the chaos under control. He continued the momentum off-screen with YouTube, where fans were captivated by Jolene's steady hand behind the camera. Why does Bad Chad Customs end? Discovery went silent in 2020 following the release of Season 2. Nothing. No notice of cancellation, no renewal. Fans were speculating about Chad leaving, budget cuts, and low ratings. Actually, it's probably a combination. The budget may have also been strained by the production costs in rural Nova Scotia, where there was no Vegas glitz to rely on. However, Chad did not disappear. He and Jolene increased their weekly build updates on YouTube. He made references to health issues in 2023, including a bad flu that left him bedridden for weeks, but he recovered and resumed welding by the spring. In a vlog, he smiled and said, "Ain't dead yet. No heart attacks or pneumonia, just a tenacious bug that he brushed off." Though Chad has built hundreds of cars, some are particularly noteworthy. In Season 1, his 62 Chrysler Frankenstein, with its engine in the back and no doors, pure madness, was the star of the show. Then there's the Bugatti build, a custom job made from a junk frame and a little bit of elbow grease and inspired by a classic from the 1930s. It took 6 months, according to Chad. Deserving of every profanity. Chopped, slammed, and snarling with a V8 he rebuilt from scraps, the 1934 Ford Canning Kid was another treasure. What about the 1956 Chevy pickup that he converted into a rat rod for a nearby farmer? All Chad, rough paint, big power. If it's got a soul, I'll save it, is his motto. and each build demonstrates this. Financial difficulties and legal disputes were nothing new. Although Hiltz Auto Co. largely avoided legal issues, there was one problem in 2018. According to a client, Chad took a deposit for a 1967 Mustang build but failed to deliver. After the project stalled, the man filed a lawsuit, claiming Chad kept the money. The client altered the specifications in the middle of the build, which destroyed the budget, Chad replied. Details are unclear, but it briefly hurt Chad's representative when it was settled out of court. He told a local newspaper, "People talk. I simply keep building." Chad's fame increased over the years, but he never lost sight of his modest origins. Thousands were inspired by his philosophy of using minimal resources to build extraordinary cars. He stayed strong in the face of adversity, constantly seeking out fresh approaches to innovate and maintain the success of his company. In addition to building cars, Chad used social media to share his passion for storytelling, giving fans a close-up look at his creative process. A new generation of custom car enthusiasts were drawn to his website, eager to absorb his unconventional yet clever techniques. Chad Hiltz is still regarded as a genuine legend in the field of custom car building, despite the ups and downs. His reputation in the world of cars has been solidified by his distinct style, unwavering perseverance, and capacity to transform scrap into rolling art. One thing is certain: Bad Chad's impact on the custom car scene will continue to inspire for years to come, regardless of whether the show returns for another season. How do you feel about Bad Chad's amazing car modifications? In the future, do you think he'll take on even more ambitious projects? For more updates on groundbreaking custom builds, please keep in mind to like, share, and subscribe, in addition to leaving your thoughts in the comments section.